My wife dragged a heavy sack in the middle of the night. There was a faint trace of blood on the opening. When my younger brother walked closer, she deliberately stood in front of the sack as if hiding something. Even so, guests kept coming the next day. Wife made a lot of money from that. Skill, I knew my wife owned a drum workshop. The drum skins she made were smooth and tender. They were sought after by local wealthy merchants. But I always had a question in my mind. Even after so many years of marriage, she never let me set foot in the workshop even once. She never mentioned the drum making technique at all. Every time I tried to push the door open, she stopped me without mercy. She spent less time with me, far less than the time she spent in the workshop when my mother saw she had not gotten pregnant for a long time. My mother flew into a rage and humiliated her in public, accusing her of doing shameful things in the workshop. I defended my wife desperately, told my mother not to speak recklessly, but my mother would not listen. She even threatened to force me to divorce her. I got furious when I heard that I declared on the spot that I would never abandon her no matter what. Then I hurried away with her. But when night fell, my wife actually dragged a heavy sack and quietly entered the drum workshop. My younger brother saw everything. Driven by curiosity, he followed her and discovered there was blood on the floor. My wife then picked up a tool knife, preparing to start making drum skins. She then realized my brother had sneaked in. She was startled at once, seeing her nervous expression. My brother grew even more suspicious and insisted on getting closer to see what was inside the sack. In a panic, my wife claimed she would teach him the drum-making craft. Only then did my brother relent. Then my wife took him to the backyard. The next morning, a customer came asking if her tender drum skins were ready. She first shook her head and said the skins had not been found yet. But when she saw my brother, she immediately changed her tone. Her words clearly carried an ambiguous intimacy. This intimate scene made my mother think my wife was up to no good. But this time, my brother unusually sided with my wife, even showing a hint of desire. All of this made me feel suffocated. So I asked my brother to pack his bags and return to our hometown. Unexpectedly, my wife wanted them to stay at our house. So the next day, my brother simply moved into our marital room and even rifled through my personal belongings. I yelled at him to get out immediately, but he sneered that the room was empty anyway. Might as well keep it for himself. We argued fiercely. Our mother rushed over when she heard. She scolded only me as the older brother to yield to my younger brother, and even decided the room would belong to my brother. I felt a surge of anger inside, but what really broke me was my brother boasting that he had already entered the drum workshop and saying he would teach me the craft after learning it. I was instantly furious, a place I had never been inside. My brother was the one who went in first instead. So I planned to ask my wife for an explanation, but she refused to speak, which made me more convinced she was hiding something. I could not bear it any longer, taking advantage of her. Turning away, I secretly fetched tools and pried open the lock. After some struggle, the door was finally pried open. I was about to walk in to see what secret was hidden inside. Suddenly, footsteps came from outside. In a panic, I could only hide under the table, but I did not expect that the next second, the ones who pushed the door open were my wife and my brother.